Hi everyone, my name is Muhammad Putra Yudha Darussalam. I'm studying in Information of Technology. Today I'm gonna explaining about how to use models in request. Introduction. What is model? What is a request? What is model? Model verbs are special auxiliary helping verbs. They don't have a meaning by themselves, but they change the meaning of main verb to express concepts like ability, permission, possibility, and the most importantly for us, request. A request is the act of politely or formally asking for something. In English, choosing the right modal verb is essential. It shows the listener your level of politeness, formality, and your relationship to them. The model of request. Can it's is if for informal, common, and for friendly. Cold it's for polite, more formal, a softer request. Will it's for direct, common, can something sounds like a common. Bold it's for very polite, very formal, very soft. May it's for very formal, used for asking permission. Might it's for very tentative and indirect, less common. Part 1. The basic. Can and could. Using can for request, for informal and friendly. This is the most common way to make a request in everyday informal situation. Use it with family, and college in a web. Used for both asking for an action and asking for a permission. It's direct, friendly, and universally understood. Examples of can. Asking for action. Can you pass the salt? Can you help me with this? Can you text me at the address? And asking permission is like, can I have a cookie? Can I sit here? Can I borrow with your pen? Using could for request. It's for polite and more formal. Could is the polite version of can. Use it when asking for a bigger favor, even from a friend. It's the standard choice when speaking to strangers, bosses, teachers, or in any formal setting. It softens the request and make it sound less direct. Examples of could. Polite for polite action could be, could you please check this report? Could you open the window? Could you tell me where the bathroom is? Polite permission. There are, could I be excused for a moment? Could I ask your question? Could I possibly leave early today? Comparison can and could. For the model can, it's by formality. Could is more like polite and formal. For this situation, can be used by with the friend and family, and could normally used by to talk to a stranger or boss or something that you less know. Yeah, their example, can you for can you wait for me? And the could be, could you wait for me, like that. The formality also, the can is used for a small request, and the could used for the big request. Part 2. Direct and polite. Will and would. Direct and expectant. Will is direct and often implies an expectation that the answer will be yes. It's common, but can sometimes sound like a polite command, not a request. It's often used by someone in a position of authority, like boss to employee. Want you? It's common way to make a polite invitation. The examples of will for direct request, The example will be like, will you send that report to me? Will you be quiet, please? Will you take care of this? For polite invitation, it will be like, won't you come in? Won't you have a seat? Will you have some tea? Something like that. Using word for a request. Very polite and formal use. Word is one of the most polite ways to make a request. It is the standard for formal situation, customer service, or when you want to be extremely respectful. It's often paired like the press like would you mind or would you be possible? This is very soft and direct way to ask. Common phrase with would. There are common ways with would, for example, would you mind? Would you be willing to? Would you be possible for you to? Would you like? Okay. For the example, would you mind closing the door? Yes, etc. The comparison will and would. Will formality is like direct or informal. For would, it's used for being very polite and formal. The situation is like boss to employer, but the word would be like opposite of it, employees to boss. Yeah, something like that. Part 3. Formal and indirect. May, might, and advance part. May and might. May is for formal permission. May is almost exclusively used for asking of permission in every formal way. And for might, it's for very tentative. Might is not common for direct request. It's used in very indirect tentative suggestion. For example, I was wondering if you might have a time to help. Yeah, something like that. Making requests even more indirect. To be extremely polite, we often wrap our model request inside another phrase. For like, I was wondering if you could help me or something. Do you think you could send me the file? I I I'd appreciate it if you would, if you that, if you this, do this, do that. Is there any chance you could finish today? Go today? Something like politeness scale. Yeah, can see for this. May is more like 90% of it. It's common. Part 4. Practice canaries. Context is the key. Asking a friend. Situation. You are at a friend house and want a glass of water. Can I get a glass of water? Single or may would sound like too formal answer, so you would. You should use like can I get the scanner of two asking for your boss. The situation is you need to leave work 30 minutes early for a doctor appointment. Would it be possible for me to leave at 40 and half today for an appointment? Using can is too informal. Would or could is the best choice. You can use could. Could it be possible for me to leave at 4:30 p.m. today for an appointment? Scenario 3. Asking a stranger. Situation is you are lost in a city and need direction. Excuse me, could you please tell me where the train station is? Always use a polite model like could with strangers. Summary. Key takeaway. How do you choose the right models? Your relation, your situation, the size of the request. When in doubt, use could. You can use could if you doubt. Okay. Okay, that's all. Thank you for your attention.